Right then, so we've got a slightly different format to what we're used to, in terms that we've got two different sets of footage for us to look at. First of all, we've got just a nice sort of dynamic warm-up, sort of a pace, and then we've asked you to swim at your kind of race pace over 200 meters. So we're going to have a look at how your stroke potentially changes between the two paces. Before we get going, is there anything you want to put on, so you've got it on the camera, on the record, of anything that you might expect to see, or anything that you've noticed over the last few months with your swimming?
Not really, no. Just be interesting to see what it looks like, on film, really.
Okay.
I have tried to kind of correct things, but yeah, just be interesting to see what it actually looks like.
Cool. Okay. So just part of the reason I wanted to do this was because on Friday, obviously, we did the CSS test.
Yeah.
You said yourself that you weren't as fast as you might be expecting to be.
Yeah.
So we can look at why, potentially, on the video.
Yeah.
And also, we both sort of agreed that over the 200, which was the second one, it just got a bit scrappy towards the end.
Yeah.
So we want to look at ways in which we can manage that and potentially keep adding to that efficiency over the longer sets. Yeah. Okay? So, first profile from the side. This is you swimming nice and sort of easy. Just a nice warm-up. Arm recovery-wise, we've done a lot of work on that, and it looks great. Head position's really good. You can see your hips breaking the surface of the water. Nice bow wave at the front, so we go under. Okay. What you can notice, as ever with the legs, is they are quite low in the water. So over time, I've worked with a lot of swimmers who tend to have sinky legs, and you haven't got sinky legs as such. Just because of where they are, that's the label that's given to them. Yeah. I don't know whether it's a flexibility thing through the hip flexors, whether it's potentially spending time on the bike is having an adverse effect on the movement of the leg kick, something like that. But you can just see it's just a matter of just trying to get those legs to just lift that little bit more. Yeah. So you can see as your left arm enters the water, your left leg isn't really kicking up too much. Yeah. It's kind of, so the far one there, you can just see the toes. Yeah. It's not really kicking up too much. So you saw that see the little flick on that left leg? So there's a flick down there. Yeah. When really it should be your right leg lifting up as your right hand enters the water. Okay. So we need to revisit that. Yeah. Just to get that timing back, just to really engage and just reset that kick technique. Yeah. Okay. That won't take too long. Okay. All right. I think if you can spend some time outside of the pool in the gym, potentially just stretching off this area here. Yeah. Particularly before and after cycling. Okay. And running. Yeah. It's only gonna benefit. Okay. You're cycling and you're running as well as you're swimming. Yeah. Okay. One thing I want to look at as we just let it play on. Your catch and pull is definitely better, but we'll not look at that one because you're breathing, which is something I want to talk about in a little bit. But if we just let this play, you can really see there's a conscious effort, particularly on that last one. Here you can see that left arm to keep that elbow high and to then press the water back. Yeah. That's much better than I've ever seen it. Yeah. Okay. However, as you then go to the next stroke, you can see just as you breathe towards us, she's kind of sweeping underneath. Yeah. Okay, and what we can't see, because I'm going to show you on the next couple of lengths, is where your hand position is at the front of the stroke. Okay. So apart from the leg kick, predominantly we're going to focus on everything that's happening in front of the head today. All right? Yeah. Cool. So I just wanted to get some more footage of the legs, just to kind of show you, it's not that you're not doing anything wrong as such, just needs to be a little bit more engaged. Yeah. Okay. To spend a bit more time. Yeah. From the front, this is what we want to look at. You can see here, as you're breathing there, that right arm kind of comes quite shallow, close to your head and comes across. Yeah. Okay, so if you watch, as you're swimming normally, quite nicely aligned, and then as you take that breath, the alignment just disappears on the stroke before. Yeah. So particularly this right arm now, it's just going to come across there. Okay. Oh, yeah. And there, from under the water, you'll see the effect that then has on the rest of the stroke. Yeah. Okay. So alignment-wise, pretty good hip rotation, but just that lead off the front, like the front hand as you rotate to breathe, starts to put a few things that are making you less efficient than you could be. Yeah. And it's really highlighted from this angle. So I stay at the very front of the stroke now. You see that left arm as you go to breathe. So the hand comes across the central line, and then fingertips popping up. Yeah. Which means as you're breathing, you're then pressing down into that catch that we used to know. Yeah. On the other side, Okay. The catch is so much better. But there. See, just before you breathe to your left, look at this look at the right hand coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Pushing water away from you, lifting right up and rolling over the top.
Yeah.
Okay. To create that not quite such effective catch and pull.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, on that left hand, as you're breathing towards the right hand side, you can see really kind of comes across, up, nearly to the surface of the water there. Okay, right there. It's like a centimetre between that. And ideally, your arm would be sort of in that position, ready to cut that high elbow, which you've obviously been working on. Okay?
Yeah.
So if we let that just play through, you can see every time it's when you rotate to breathe, it's the stroke before you're breathing, really.
Yeah.
That's holding you back because it's just creating that kind of inefficient movement on both sides.
Yeah.
Body rotation is really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's just these little the fine skills really. From the front, you can see it here.
Oh yeah.
You see that coming right across. And then sort of sweeping around and then back out and down. Yeah. And as you're going to breathe to the other side, same again. So you can see at that point, your arm's sort of pointing beyond the camera, sort of down in this direction. Yeah. Okay. How does it feel to you watching yourself swim?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that thing of, as always, I am trying to be a bit more conscious of bringing my hands closer together so that I'm not pulling wide like I used to over outside of my body.
That's nice.
But the problem is then I think it's making me bring my hand. I feel like I want my hand to be here when I'm coming in, which then when I'm breathing is making it go.
Yeah, definitely.
Across my body. So I think it's just kind of, I think it is definitely understanding where my hands need to be. And also, that sort of tipping up. I still don't have, I think, in my brain, it really cemented exactly what that would feel like in the right position. And I think that's kind of where I'm trying to get to.
I know exactly what you mean. It's a hard one to explain, and it's a hard one to kind of to learn. Yeah. So what you're doing here is you're doing sort of largely the right bits. It's this setup here, particularly as you're rotating to breathe. You can see there your fingertips coming across towards the camera again. Yeah. That kind of put all that movement pattern off. Yeah. So you need to have, so the drills that I would like to do with you and for you to go away and practice is definitely skill number 1. Okay. So you're just reinforcing, all the time you're reinforcing that point within your stroke where you know your body position's right, your palm and fingertips position's right, fingertips below the wrist, below the elbow. You know that at that point you can then affect your nice high elbow catch and press. Okay. But also then, because swimming is very cyclical, you've got to lead up to that point. So things like 616, broken arrow, even kicking on the side. Okay. So you build up again that body-brain relationship. If that's where my arm and shoulder need to be for me to then go, okay, I'm in the right position to affect the catch and press. Yeah. When I swim, I almost think about at the very sort of when my hand enters the water, it's almost like a roller, like a paint roller or something, and I have to run my fingertips, palm of the hand, wrist, elbow over that roller. And the only way you can do that is by almost pushing down. Right. Or aiming down a little bit. Because if you aim across, straight across is not really going to make it roll. You're just skimming over the top of it. Yeah. But as long as you're pressure, in my mind, I'm kind of getting that direction right. Okay, yeah. Which will then make sure that you're not touching the water, the surface of the water. Yeah. So we shouldn't be able to see the palm of your hands and fingers inside of your fingertips at this point. Yeah. Your arm should be coming down nice. You should be able to just see the back of the hand. Basically. Okay, yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's just reinforcing those correct body positions because there, your rotation's really nice. So if this arm was nicely in this position here, that would be like a website shot. Yeah, okay. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, okay. Body position's good, kick position's good, breathing out, eyes not looking too far forwards, you can see your bow wave. You know, that's a really nice picture. Yeah. But the hand was like, no, don't take a photo of me. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, okay. So that frame in itself is a really good one to kind of keep in your brain. Yeah. Nearly right, but not quite. Yeah. Okay. Your catch itself, it is definitely, you can even see that one there where you slightly come under the body. So much better than it used to be. Yeah. So much better than it used to be. When you're not on the breathing, it's so much more effective than it has been previously. So this one here again, get that nice high elbow. You can see there, you're then getting ready to breathe. And the next one's going to be counteracting the previous setup. So because your arm's now coming across on this right hand side, your right arm catch is going to be a funny one because it's not quite set up in the correct way. So essentially what we're trying to get at today is how your stroke shouldn't change because you breathe. It should already incorporate your breathing. Because that seems to be, the breathing seems to be the crux of the issues.
What's this?
So if you had a snorkel, you'd be catch and pull would be like that pretty much every time.
Right.
But we don't have that luxury, so we need to train that into you. All right. Cool. So having done the video of the secondary footage, so your 200-meter race pace, we can have a little compare. How did that feel doing the 200 meters?
It felt okay, yeah. I mean, I can tell again a little bit quicker, probably the first 100 and the second, but as always,
yeah.
I feel like that's kind of getting better.
yeah. I mean, if you look at the spreadsheet that I send out on a Friday with everyone's times, I don't think there's anybody who paces it sort of as you probably.
I think that's probably the best pacing I've ever had. If I went back and had a look at those spreadsheets, because normally it's like your pacing is holding you back. Your pacing is holding you back.
But so that's something to, so you might have been not necessarily as pleased as you were hoping with the timing, but there's always stuff to be taken from it. So that's really good. So on the right hand side, obviously, is the new footage. Okay, so same angles again. You can really see that right arm, how close now it's entering to your head. Okay, as we then go under the water, there's, starting the wrong one. There's more dynamic movement through the legs, but they're still quite low in the water. So I genuinely think hip flexors, getting the glutes engaged again, getting them, because you're obviously strong, but it's about how you use that muscle, how you use that strength. All right. I don't spend too much time in here. I try and go a little bit further forward. There, did you see that right hand stroke? So you see, as your right hand enters the water, goes right across as you breathe, and then there's a real sort of whip. Okay, so it's almost extending, whip across. There. So if we play that back in full speed. So watch your right arm now. See? It's almost like that flick across, which is essentially pushing you offline a little bit. Still arm up quite high.
I think probably what happens is I can see that hand's not where it should be.
So quickly whip it back in.
And I move it back. Yeah.
The camera won't see.
Or I just know. I just think, oh my God, I know that's not where it should be. I kind of move it to put it in the right place almost.
Yeah. And again, there you can just see that right arm starts to get a bit twitchy. Again, these are kind of small things that are going to help you. Looking from above.
Oh my goodness.
Did you see that? That right arm?
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost, look at that. Almost entering by the head. So ideally, we want to really look at that setup. So from there, this elbow needs to stay nice and relaxed, so that arm just continues going on that trajectory, and then it's going to be so much easier to find that.
Is that because I'm not reaching that arm? I mean, this is obviously the shoulder I've had problems with, but it's all settled now. So I do wonder whether I've just kind of initially extending my arm on this side. Obviously that overhead movement here was the one that gave me the most pain. So I do wonder whether I've just sort of shortened it a little bit so that I don't kind of cause any issue here. So that's what it is. I've almost I've guarded it for so long because I continued to swim that now I don't actually know what it feels like to extend it straight out.
Yeah, it could well be. It really could be. It's funny how the body and the brain kind of have that relationship of guarding muscles or parts of the body that have been injured before. I just think as you go through this process, if you're looking at your right hand, as your right hand leaves the water, it's almost like twitching to get into the water. And you need to think more as your body is like the trunk of a crane and your arm is like the arm of a crane. So the arm moves as the trunk moves, whereas what's happening with your forearm from the elbow down is it's suddenly sort of going, hang on, I'm going to lead this stroke.
Right.
I want to lead this stroke.
Okay.
And you can see where the hand's entering the water far too close to the head. And then it just pushes straight across.
Okay.
And you can see the legs slightly coming apart, hips slightly moving this way.
Yeah.
That hand will inevitably sweep underneath you as you pull through, particularly because you're swimming at speed. So from here, you want to keep, that's fine. That angle is absolutely fine.
Right.
You almost want the same angle in the arm when your elbow's sort of here.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas what happens is...
Oh, I see. I bring it in. Yeah. Okay.
Right there. So you want to keep that open. So your hand is just about to enter the water there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a little bit wide.
Yeah.
But if you just get this straightened up, that's going to benefit you so much, because then there won't be that sweep across.
Yeah.
As you extend, you'll be able to consciously extend downwards, forwards and downwards, without that kind of, I need to be there.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is almost a mini reset here at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you're aware you're coming across.
Yeah.
Whether that's kind of consciously or subconsciously, you're aware you're coming across and resetting it every time. Yeah. Which is a kind of a flaw in the stroke.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a really good angle actually to see that. Keep starting the wrong one. So if you look at your left arm, there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's really nice. Really nice.
Okay.
Look at the distance of where your hand enters the water left.
Yeah.
To then right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost like two split down the middle.
Yeah.
Two different swimmers.
Yeah.
So we want to keep doing what you're doing on the left.
Yeah.
And totally match it up with the right.
Okay.
Simple things you can use to do this. Things like, so when I work with kids, especially, which is not that often, but just like encourage them to think about drawing a rainbow on the side of the pool.
Okay.
So you kind of up.
Up.
And then it's that, as you're finishing the rainbow, it's your fingertips that are holding the pen, so your fingertips need to carry on down to continue that arc.
Okay.
Rather than just a hand.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
So you're kind of encouraging that straighter arm.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Then the next length, if we look closer under the water, I think that's probably the best angle for us to look at, because it really shows you the difference between the two sides. Yeah. So ultimately, the more we look at it, it tends to be the right hand that's the culprit, really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then that right arm comes across and up.
Yeah.
There again. That's because you start breathing to your left. So essentially, to kind of, in a brief synopsis, it's your breathing to the left that tends to cause problems when you're swimming at speed. When you're dynamic, it's kind of a bit more on both sides. So we really need to focus in on keeping you nice and straight and aligned on your breathing, getting your entry position right, sculling, so reinforcing that like the catch initiation, so where you want to finish off your recovery and entry phase. So everything that's happening basically in front of the head is where we need to focus.
Okay.
Okay. So as we keep going, breathing out all the time. One thing I did notice, which is kind of going off topic a little bit, but I just wanted to make you aware of it, is if you keep an eye, just literally keep an eye on your goggle straps.
Yeah.
So tend to chin tuck. So there.
Oh yeah, it's my head's up and then I tuck it down.
Yeah, at that point there, that is exactly where I would suggest you need to keep your head. You've got a nice bow wave.
Right.
Breathing out, sort of, there's a really nice line between sort of eyes and fingertips, etc., etc. And then suddenly chin tuck in there.
Why do I do that?
I'm not sure. The problem with this is that it lowers your head into the water, so that potentially, it's not happening at the moment, but if you start to get really tired, you know, potentially if you're having a bad swim and you think, oh, I just want to get this swim done, you're going to have to really over-rotate now to get to the air.
Right.
Because your head's lower in the water.
Yeah.
So you have to come backwards, all sorts, which is not going to help the thing that we're looking at.
Yeah. Okay. So I need to focus my gaze a little bit.
Yeah. So that is actually quite a good position for you. I would say sort of there. So you can see your fingertips when they're in the right position. Yeah.
Not down here.
But only through the top of your goggles.
Okay, yeah.
So you'll be sort of like me looking through the top of my glasses almost.
Okay.
Yeah. And that will just get that head position nice and stable, and that again will just help to benefit and keep you a little bit more stable. Keep doing that. As we then play on, you can did you see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as your head bobs down, this is like a micro analysis now. So what's your body position? I'm just gonna go. So breathe, eyes back down. And then this one here, you see your body's like shifting away from the camera while your head's almost moving towards us.
Yeah.
So it's just a kind of a connectivity between sort of the skull, neck, skeleton.
Yeah.
Just needs to be just a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
All right. It's just something I thought I'd just show you. So you see there, your head's almost starting to turn towards us as your body moves away from us.
Yeah.
Which is like a bit of a classic over rotation.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not happening all the time.
Yeah.
Just it came up when I saw it while it happened.
But I think it's helpful to think I need to keep my eyes where my eyes need to be, regardless of kind of what else is going on.
And then from the front, because we know your catch is better, I've just taken some footage from above again to really show you. You see that right arm again, sort of coming straight across. There. There was one where it really happened. No, not that one. There.
Okay, yeah.
See? Entering the water, and then it's coming towards the camera, staying up, nearly breaking the surface of the water, back around, back underneath.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all in all, I think you have made progress with your swimming.
Yeah.
For somebody in your position now, where you've spent a good few years getting fitter, getting stronger, getting more technically sound, it's just going to be these kind of minute things. Working with your coach Sophie. And trying to build these back into your stroke. Working with me as well on the squad sessions, and just getting that efficiency back up. Getting your technique as efficient as possible. Get your body as efficient as possible. So the fitter and stronger you are in the water, teamed up with a better technique, is going to get you the result. Okay. In terms of drills, we want to really use. Unco is such a good drill for you.
Okay. And typically,
yeah, exactly. It's always the way.
I mean, it has got better over the years, but I still kind of go, oh, really?
The thing to note is that Unco, I guess the name's a bit, it's not misleading, I guess, it's off-putting. Because it does feel uncoordinated when you do it. If it feels coordinated, it's one of those things where unfortunately you're probably doing it wrong.
Right, okay.
So things to make sure is obviously you're using one arm at a time, breathing away from the hand you're swimming with.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but the thing to note is when you see Paul do it here, just see how relaxed he tries to maintain. Okay, so it's just nice and relaxed. So you can see as his hand enters the water, he's entering the water in front of his face, in front of his head, quite far in front of his head, like your left arm was on that 200-meter effort. And then extending forwards as his body rolls, pressing the water back. Okay, getting the hips involved, which you're doing when you swim. So it should start to feel easier now because you're much more in control of your body pattern, your body movement. Okay. So Unco is a really good drill for you.
Okay.
And then the classic ones, 616 and 636, which I can put on here for you.
I have got the old Swim Smooth kind of the standard version. I've subscribed to that, so I have been starting to kind of watch some of the drills and the videos and stuff like that, just to kind of
So again, with 616, it's all about this angle really for me. So Paul's entering the water there because he's pretty flexible. If you can get your hand sort of either side of the black line. So if you get the luxury of a lane to yourself, use that black line to enter the water straight.
Right.
Okay, and not come crossing over. And obviously you breathe after every repetition, so this is perfect.
Okay.
Perfect for you. Okay. Ignore that movement of the hand. It shouldn't be happening. So you want to finish up in that position. not there. Okay, in that position, just straight onto it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then obviously 6-3-6 is the logical follow on to that. So 6-3-6, you're obviously not going from 180 to 180 degrees. You're rocking through the 3 strokes, so rocking from side to side. Okay, but again, it's all about that alignment, so not crossing over at the front of the stroke. Have you ever heard my surfboard analogy?
No. Oh, I think I might have been. That you
paddling surfboard through the surf.
Yeah, but you know, I feel like, I mean, and it'll be interesting to kind of think like that. I always feel like my arms are like really wide apart, but maybe that's kind of just how it feels. But actually, maybe it's not. But.
Yeah, from experience as well, from coaching and swimming, when I say to myself, right, make sure your arms are out nice and wide, suddenly I feel like
they're in the right place.
Yeah, well, no, suddenly I feel
they feel like
I'm swimming sort of taking up the whole lane.
Yeah.
But actually, you've probably moved your entry point from there to there.
Okay.
So it's I mean, that is actually quite a big difference.
And it will feel like.
But you'll feel like, oh my god.
Okay.
But it's potentially quite good, and we can have a little. We'll do some of these drills in a minute, so we can have a play around with it.
Yeah.
But it's just making sure you're entering the water much more aligned, particularly as you're breathing.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the last one that's going to be really beneficial for you is to team all of those up with skull number 1.
Yeah.
So you're just reinforcing the correct hand position for when you are initiating your catch. So with the sculling drill, it's really important that I'm not saying you do this, but a lot of swimmers, what they do is particularly with sculling, they go, okay, I've done half length sculling, and then just do half length freestyle without thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so you reinforce this really nice position and go into freestyle and just
revert back.
Revert back. So you've really got to dial in on the position that you're reinforcing. So fingertips below the wrist, below the elbow, below the shoulder, keeping your hands extended. And then you'll feel that point in the middle of the skull where you feel that pressure. That's where you want to reinforce. That's what you want to find when you then start your swimming.
Sure.
So when you transition into freestyle, you want to be spearing down onto that point. So if we just ignore the rest of the body and just look at that right hand, apart from the fact is on the in sweep, that is really the position where you'd want to start initiating your catch.
What, sort of here?
Yeah, fingertips below the wrist, below the elbow.
What is the actual, is this drill is more about just finding that point. And I'm trying to feel, like, I can feel good pressure.
Yes.
And I can see my arms, so I know they're in the right place.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not, so one thing to be clear on is what we're not saying is every time your hand enters the water through your stroke, you should be... Yeah. It's like running like high knees drill.
Yeah.
You never go and do like a half marathon with high knees. That would just be murderous.
Yeah.
So it's just about feeling the water. With the drill, some coaches coach it with the face in the water. I don't like to. I like to coach it with the chin on the water. Not because I can give you feedback. That helps. I can talk to you as you go. But also, it's like balancing on one leg. If you do it with your eyes open, it's easy because you can see everything.
Yeah.
Shut your eyes and suddenly it's a bit harder.
Yeah.
Take away your vision, and you have to feel your way through the drill.
Okay.
So I like to do it with the chin on the water. So you're kind of making those micro changes yourself as you go. So maybe fingertips down, or elbows up, or arms extended a little bit out further in front of you.
Okay.
So those are the main drill sets that you need to be working on.
Okay.
Obviously, I can give you some feedback on those. If you've got any issues on a Friday morning, we can have 5 minutes of drill time just if you need it.
Yeah.
And then for your kick tech, so we just go back to the beginning. So this is your race pace 200. One thing, before I did any recording on this second effort, I could see your legs working better.
Okay.
Like more dynamic movement.
I mean, I think the reality is, I've worked on lots of things over the years. I still haven't ever really, nailed it, shall we say. So
you've nailed the timing. The timing's perfect there. Yeah. It's better in that than it was on the other side.
Okay.
It's just the depth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, if we break it down again, there's still a little emphasis on that downwards kick.
Yeah.
So.
And again, I stopped thinking about. Remember, we talked about kicking up, and I've stopped doing that. But the thing is, my little brain. There's only so much.
As your hand enters the water there, your right hand enters the water there.
Yeah.
You can see your right leg should be up.
Okay.
But it's not.
Yeah. Well, again, to get that back into my technique, it'd be interesting to see what that does.
As your left arm enters the water, rather than the left leg lifting up, that right leg flicks down. So then that's, again, not the best body position. And it's not happening all the time, as we can see. But there definitely seems to be that little emphasis on the sort of shin flick down rather than the heel lift up.
Right? Yeah, for sure,
Cool. Okay, have you got any questions you want to ask on any of that?
No, I think that's okay,
Brilliant. I'll stop it there.